I'm a slave for you. That shit is over, okay? This is not 1992. The new young girl is not here for none of those shenanigans that y'all think y'all gonna have going on with them. And y'all gonna have millions of dollars sitting in y'all bank account and y'all gonna give them crumbs and think that they're gonna keep your secrets for you. It's just not happening. See, what you old heads is forgetting and failing to realize is the fact that these young people have way more access to the world. And not only that, but they really are sensitive and soft, so they don't even really care or know what it is to even really be loyal to something, especially somebody that they don't care about. This younger generation is more loyal to themselves than the outside world, whereas it used to be people were loyal to other people or people who they felt as though they had alliances with. These young people don't care about that no more. They don't have the same customs. So all that keeping your secrets and hiding stuff and doing all of that, they're not doing that, especially if spilling the tea is going to be more beneficial for them. You're done. Now, some of these men be under the impression that young people are slow and that they're stupid and they're moldable, but they have a totally different way of life than the older generation. And I'm sorry to break it to you, you may have age on you, but the slow one is always going to end up being you, especially in the world of technology. You might as well just hang it up. That man done got with a nasty little sex worker, thought that she was going to play his little race games with him. She probably, I don't even know if she's familiar or unfamiliar with that, because that's an absolute mess in itself. But a lot of people who deal in sex work, they normally research it in the form of, visiting adult websites and figuring out what people like and how people do it and all of that stuff. They do research that kind of stuff. Once that girl realized what that man was into, she started immediately lining him, because why would you be recording him if y'all were dating and y'all were developing a normal, regular relationship? Yeah, you're going to have pictures, videos, and stuff like that. But to record conversations, it seems as though you were being set up from the very beginning. And one thing that I know about famous men, about men that have a couple dollars and they are in the spotlight, they get mad when they realize that you don't know who they are. And even if you do act like you don't know who they are, but you really do, that gets under their skin. And they immediately go out of their way to try to prove how big they are in the world, or how big they think they are. Now, listening to those tapes and the things that he was saying, I feel as though he was getting a little BDSM-y, but the girl wasn't playing those games on the phone with him because she knew she was recording him and setting him up. And she had to be playing along with that stuff with him to some capacity for him to actually try it over the phone. But the fact that he didn't pick up on, hey, why is she not going along with my little kinky little foreplay talk over the phone? She probably recorded me. That wasn't even enough to make him stop, because your ego kicks in and you just feel like you just gonna do whatever you want. But out of all the people in the world that you can mess with, how you end up with a OnlyFans member, when you talk all that trash and try to act like you're upper echelon, when you're nothing really but, and see, this is why I don't like people who try to demean other people or talk down on other people or talk about what other people do, like in a disgusted type of way, because I've heard him talk about people in a fashion that kind of gives disgust when you're doing things way more disgusting than them. And that's what I tell y'all about people. A lot of times when people try to act like they high and mighty and try to act like so many things is beneath them, you will be surprised what you find when they back up computers and in their search history. They be the worst ones. Them ones that be pressing the issue trying to act like they have morals, they be the dirtiest, the nastiest, and the most gutter butt. And they probably doing worse things than you. And the only person that they're trying to convince that they have morals is themselves. I only got one thing to say about this situation, and that is pay that lady. Unless this is a marketing scheme about your sexuality and y'all just playing games trying to keep your name out there and keep your name fluctuating in the news and in the media. Because as salacious as this story has been so far, I don't even want to hear no more because I know it's only going to get worse. I don't want to see no tapes. I don't want to hear no more audio because it's really, truly embarrassing when the things that you do in your bedroom that aren't of the norm hit the streets. It's almost like one of those things where you cannot come back from that. That is something that will always float around and always be held over your head. I know that people like different things and all of that, but maybe somebody can help me out. How does one get involved with race play? Like, how does one get turned on by that or just think that that's okay or fun in any way? Just listening to it and reading the messages, it sounds like something you can get sued for and something that somebody can flip around on you. So what's the fascination? Like, please, somebody please help me out. Because I've heard a lot of crazy stories and a lot of crazy things in my lifetime. But the whole little Django slave interaction, slave master, beloved kink, I just can't understand how a black man would get tangled up in that. Like, and I do know that white men do that with black women, but I get it because that part of the domination, that was something that did happen, and they did have control over black people like that at one time. So I get why a white man would try to do that to a black woman. Not saying that is right, because all of it is strange, but I have heard about that before. And it makes more sense coming from them than coming from a big black guy. So somebody please help me out, seriously.